All right, well, let's see. Marvel Studios considering making Professor X and Magneto people of color in an X-Men reboot. Well, first I have to ask, why do you need a reboot? Why? Because young people now feel some kind of way because they didn't grow up with the X-Men, so now they have to feel special by growing up with a rebooted X-Men? Whatever. People of color. Of course they have to be people of color. It's 2019. If you're white, you're wrong. The X-Men could have a unique twist to them when Marvel Studio rolls out the inevitable reboot. Kevin Feige and company are considering having people of color portray both Magneto and Professor X in the MCU, Full Circle Cinema has learned. Well, whatever. I never really did care too much for Professor X. Magneto's always been a favorite of mine. I know HS said he always liked him too, which is kind of weird because me HS same. Me you same HS. While this change wouldn't alter much for Charles Xavier, as he was born in New York to a wealthy family, it may lead to Marvel Studios taking some liberties with Eric's origin. In the pages of Marvel Comics, Magneto was born in the 1920s to a Jewish family during World War II. Perfect. Perfectly fine. Why change it? Because some colored person is going to feel some kind of way because there's no black Magneto? I mean... During World War II, Eric was sent to Auschwitz, a Nazi concentration camp. Well, there's the white people. With the current MCU taking place in 2023, it's difficult to imagine a near 100-year-old Magneto taking on the X-Men. Well, he's a mutant, so... Marvel Studios will have to take some steps to differentiate its incarnation of the X-Men from what Fox has done over the better part of the last 20 years. Making two of the potential leads of the franchise people of color could be a huge step in doing that, as well as helping to push the diversity of the MCU forward. Here we go with this diversity again. Diversity because diversity. It's a sick joke. Earlier this year, that guy's name that I don't know how to say, Feige, spoke about representation in the MCU and how he believes it is the future of the franchise. Representation. Future of the franchise. No, man. Selling comics is the future of the franchise. Selling stories is the future of the franchise. When you start selling race and diversity and representation, nobody's going to buy your shit anymore. So the notion of representation on screen, in front of and behind the camera, somebody asked me once, so is Black Panther a one-off? I said, no, it's not a one-off, Feige told the Wrap. This is the future. This is the way the world is, and the way certainly our studios are going to be run going forward. Oh, that's the way the world is. There's magic, secret cities full of advanced black people in Africa. That's the way the world is? Come on, man. Get your head out of your ass. This is the future. This is the way the world is, and the way certainly our studios are going to be run going forward because it brings about better stories. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. The more diverse the group of people making the movie is, the better the stories. Oh, okay. How's that? How so? He just claims it, never explains how it's so. Because it's not. When the X-Men are able to take their live-action debut for the 2000 film, Fox enlisted veteran actors Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen to tackle the roles of Professor X and Magneto. They would portray the characters until the studio decided to do a soft reboot of the franchise. Blah, blah, blah. Would you be excited to see Professor X and Magneto be people of color? Not particularly. It wouldn't excite me at all. It's still Magneto and Professor X. You're just putting a facade on them to satisfy somebody else's feelings. It's ridiculous. It's sick. Who should portray the duo in Marvel Studios' X-Men reboot? Let us know in the comments below. I really don't know who should do it because I'm not going to be watching it. Nobody I know is going to be watching it. And the people that are going to be watching it are going to be young, dumb, and full of bubblegum. Because that's the way young people are nowadays. Earlier this year, Phage spoke about representation in the MCU and how he believes it is good for the future of the franchise. Wow. Nope, there goes Marvel. Just like Star Wars. Playing to the woke crowd. And everybody knows what happens when you get woke. You go broke. Star Wars is a mess. Nobody fucking likes that movie anymore. All of us adults that were kids at the time when Star Wars first came out, you go and you see the trash that they're making today, you just have to shake your head. What are you going to do? You know, kids are just so fucking stupid nowadays that they got their heads up their ass. Leftist teachers have filled their heads full of bullshit and made them believe things that are simply not true, or made them believe things that are going to harm them when they become adults because they're not going to know how to deal with real life. And now diversity is got to be everywhere. It's got to be. Why? Well, you didn't get to see my head explode simply because I'm a cynical bastard. I don't give a fuck anymore. I'll just fucking point and laugh and clown the shit out of things. I'm not going to change my mind. I'm not going to change your mind. You're not going to change your mind, and you're not going to change my mind. We're just going to have to agree to disagree. But this was kind of fun. What you need to do is catch me on a day when I'm really pissed off and link an article that's really going to fucking bite my ass. Then you'll see me in fine form. Otherwise, peace out, boys.